Tough times never last. Have you heard the quote? I'm sure you have. In fact, some people say the quote is tough times never last, but tough people do. Actually, I've changed it because I think it should be tough times never last, and they make people tough who they themselves will last. One of the questions that has been thrown around, or one of the words that have been thrown around at this particular time of lockdown, the coronavirus, and this global pandemic that is captivating all of our attention, is the word resilience. I love the word. I think it really epitomizes what we are having to fight during this 21-day lockdown. I want you to know I haven't always been as cheerful as this. In fact, I'm just doing this vlog while I'm cheerful, because your mood can change in a day in this lockdown period. I'm sure you'll agree with me. So whether it's through the coronavirus pandemic or some other circumstances of your life, the truth of the matter is, as we know, is that we're going to face some tough times in our life. And these tough times will demand some extraordinary responses and hopefully extraordinary resolve as well. At the start of this lockdown, I decided this is going to be an opportunity for me to do a bunch of things, because I was going to be forced to stay at home. I was going to have all this time on my hands. And so other than my normal duties, my responsibilities, my work responsibilities, I decided that I'm going to complete an online course that I've already begun to develop. The second thing I was going to do is get all my paperwork done around my tax returns, because when tax comes, I'm going to get my tax returns in quickly, so I get everything up to date. I'm just going to really give my car a really, really good wash, and maybe even I'll help Christine wash her dirty car. Anyway, and most of all, I wanted to do some helpful content online through all the social media channels that I found. And the reality is, other than my work responsibilities, everything else just simply dried up, especially my creative content. I haven't posted anything on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, and here on YouTube from the beginning of this lockdown. Yes, I've shared stuff that other people have done, but I've done nothing myself. So I kind of blame myself for what has happened in South Africa, where this lockdown has been extended by another 2 weeks. I feel like I'm the Jonah in the country, because I set out to do these things at the beginning of the lockdown. I never got them done, and so God is saying, Mark, I'm going to give you another 2 weeks of lockdown, and the whole country's going to suffer. So South Africa, please forgive me. I start this new era of vlogging. My intention is to enjoy myself. Sometimes the technical stuff may not be perfect, but nevertheless, I'm going to do my best. Okay, so here we go. On my 5 top things that I want to share with you today that have served me in the past when I've been through tough times. Now, a disclaimer here. I think we're heading for a new reality, and some of the things that worked in the past may not work in the future. But hopefully these 5 things will serve us regardless of what our future holds for us. So, number 1, the first thing that I've learned is that face the brutal facts. That's right, face the brutal facts. And it comes from Jim Collins's book, Good to Great. If you've never read it, I still think it's going to be a great read regardless of what the future holds for us. So Jim Collins says in this point of face the brutal facts that he says level 5 leaders, people who lead at the highest capacity, have the ability to look at the brutal facts with a sense of optimism, with a sense of figuring out ways forward, but nevertheless to face the brutal facts, to look at the reality. With this in mind, one of the things that have absolutely blown me away during this coronavirus pandemic is how world leaders have had what I call willful ignorance. Now, I'm not judging them for it, because I know there have been times when I've had willful ignorance. What is that? That is when I'm willfully ignorant, when I choose not to face the brutal facts and to deny the reality, the kind of stick your head in the ground kind of reality. The things that we say that ostriches do. And researchers show me ostriches don't do that, but nevertheless, we know what that means. Number 2, work with what you have. So often in life we get so completely paralyzed by the things that we don't have to do the things that we think we have to do. And I have found that in every occasion of my life, when I've faced a kind of a dead end, where I've faced a difficult situation, a tough environment, what I've had to do is do an inventory of what I have. And that's what I'm even doing with this vlogging situation. I don't have a great studio. I know there's ambient noise. We have the ocean out here. I can't silence the ocean, so it may creep into the video. But this is what I've got, and this is what I'm going to do with. Maybe that will help you. Start with what you have. Do an inventory. Make a list of the things that you've got. Number 3, find allies. Find people who are like-minded, people who are already ahead of the game, and copy them. Find people who will encourage you and won't start every sentence with, oh, that won't work. No, we've tried that before. No, to find allies is to find people who are willing to look at the brutal facts, who are willing to do an inventory of what they've got and to say, okay, this is what we have, this is our reality, these are our time constraints, this is the energy we've got. Now we need to apply ourselves to this stuff and to come together, because 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 in this kind of synergistic environment. You get this exponential impact when we work together. We find allies, we find people who are doing what we're wanting to do. Number 3 is to innovate. This is a magnificent time to try stuff out. I love what Jim Collins says in one of his books. He says, before you fire cannonballs, fire bullets. Try stuff. If it doesn't work, can it. Don't necessarily invest a lot of energy and effort and money into trying stuff, but when you find something that works, that's where the investment goes. Craig Rochelle, they put out a formula years ago, and I use it regularly within the context of the stuff that I share around leadership and about inspiration, and that is limited resource plus passion equals innovation. And this is the opportunity to innovate. Already we're doing stuff that we never thought we'd ever do when it comes to connecting, to doing business, and of course in my context, doing church life. And then number 5, my 5th point, is to be patient, not to give up. We all have the same amount of time, we all have different degrees of opportunity, but each and every one of us have the opportunity simply to be patient. That's right, Rome wasn't built in a day. We're not going to make a radical difference in a moment, but if we will just be patient, if we'll do the next right step. Again, I refer to Jim Collins, what he calls the 20-mile march, and you can go do investigations around it. What it really is about doing the next right thing, taking one step at a time, not trying to move the mountain in one hit, but to move the mountain one bucket load at a time. I hope these things are helping you. If you resonate with one of these points, I'd love to know which point do you resonate the most with. And maybe if I get enough feedback about a certain point, we can elaborate on that point even further about what it takes to make a difference. And now for something that I learned from the talk show host, Jimmy Kimmel. He said to get subscribers, he doesn't eat a cookie. Well, for me, I'd love to eat this lunch bar, but I can't eat this lunch bar until you have subscribed to this channel. So go ahead, subscribe to this channel, because I really, really, really want to eat this lunch bar. Okay, folks, God bless you. I'd love to hear from you. Make a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and let me know if this is helpful in any way.